Courthouse deal. This is one of the few ones that we actually had to eject, which doesn't happen a lot. This guy was actually a hermit and a hoarder, and it was full of junk. We came down here today to the sale, and you can barely walk through. It's an old historic house. It's actually the first tax record was actually shows in 1870. These are the original cedar stake siding. The original house was set on the ground. It was picked up, and they built this underneath it sometime around right at 1900s, and we paid $45,000 for it. We would like to think it's worth $250 or so. We have spent about 40 grand in rehab already, and it probably needs another 40 in rehab. We're debating whether to sell it in an as-is condition, just trying to, to sell it now, or to really complete the rehab. We're in an old historic district. I mean, all of these houses were built in the turn of in the late 1800s. Most of the market down here are attorneys' offices. People do live down here, but most of them have taken these old historic homes and turned them into offices. So it's a beautiful place. We'll take a look.
So you think you have to be in it for a total of 120 to sell it for 250?
Yeah. The question is, what's it worth as is? It's one of these. I mean, the character, and when you think about the old South, so to speak, this is like Gone with the Wind and all that stuff. All the old historic Mardi Gras. This is basically what we use it for now. My brother, he used it for a Mardi Gras hangout, because Mardi Gras parades run up and down the road, and he actually comes down here and spends weeks at a time. Mardi Gras parades every night. So that's kind of what it's being used for now. The biggest renovation, these are just, the old transoms, like they used to have back in the day, because there was no heating system, heating and cooling. There's no kitchen, right? In here. This is probably the biggest obstacle of what, and one of the things that my brother and I would disagree, or trying to decide on. If you're going to make it a home, then you got to make this a home kitchen. If you're going to make it an office, you don't, so that we've not been able to kind of get on the same page as to what to do in here. Do we make it an office kitchen, or do we make it a home kitchen? And obviously that has a big difference on the cost and design and everything else. There's a little small bathroom that just goes out to the back porch. There's a little small bathroom in there.
Oh, look at this old tile.
Yeah.
That's cool. Wainscoting.
Mm-hmm. This is before, back in the day. This is way back, This window, that's a 1800, turn of the century. From what we can tell, this is all original structure. Abraham Lincoln, Robert E. Lee, whatever, running right down the road out front, in Civil War time. So, which is pretty cool when you think about that,
And it's been ducted, right?
Yes, it has been. We didn't do that, but it's been. Lots of options here, right? When I wanted to put my office down here, that was one of the plans I had, and because obviously we're just blocks from the courthouse, but 40 grand is you can spend 40 grand in here for sure, you really 40 grand would be on the low side, depending on what you really did to it.
Just go through.
It's just a closet, I think. So it's 3 baths, 3 bedroom, 3 bath.